Satya, you have started the live stream.
Yes, doctor, in Facebook.
You have started. Okay. So with sharp 5, we shall not wait for more people. Let them join later. So you have to stop stop screen. Yeah. Good evening, Deputy President.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Yep.
Way back when, in the beginning of time, man made the fire, then the wind went from a horse to an automobile. He said the world is mine. He took the oceans and the sky. He set the border, built the wall. He won't stop till he owns it all. And here we are, standing on the brink of disaster. Enough is enough, is enough, is enough. I know the answer. Put a woman in charge. Put the woman in charge. Put a woman in charge. Put the woman in charge. The time has come. We've got to turn this world around. Call the mothers, call the daughters. We need the sister of mercy now. She'll be a hero, not a fool. She's got the power to change the rules. She's got something men don't have. She is kind and she understands. So let the ladies do what they were born to do. Raise the vibration and make a better place for me and you. So put the woman in charge. 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 Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You're gonna feel the magic when the girls take over. It's gonna be fantastic.
All right. A very good evening to our Deputy President, Mr. Selvam, other Executive Council members, our Executive Council members and Council members, our special guest speakers, Ms. Sharala and Ms. Khushbu Nangalia, who I'll be introducing them individually later, our very distinguished guests, members and non-members of KLCK. We at KLCK are continuously doing many town hall sessions over Zoom lately on various topics. We have done on Pemulih Agro Bank initiatives, disruption and evolution of event industry, Pemerkasa loan applications through BSN, SIDEC, Selangor SME Digitalization Matching Grants Forum, improve your Microsoft Excel skills, developing your new product brand, creating trademark, rental relief discussions, and many more. We have many more coming up too, which I will be sharing the topics later. Well, today's topic, which is excelling in business despite the pandemic challenges. This will be an inspirational town hall session whereby many of us who are stressed staying home, not knowing when this pandemic will ever end, wondering why the numbers are only increasing and not decreasing. In fact, today it's already 13,000, right? The speakers today will speak about the challenges they faced and how they played along to stay strong in their businesses. Digital transformation is really necessary for almost all the businesses, and the speakers will reiterate that as well. We all need to stay strong, especially at these trying times. And what can keep us to stay strong is other people's success stories. And if they can do it, why not you or me? Yes. In NLP, we say it's calibration. Let us calibrate the positives of these speakers and enhance our own businesses and shine on. Every one of us have the potential, and it is when and where we tap on them. After today's session, you will not be stressed or alarmed anymore, as today will be the best day in your life for attending this fruitful session. We at KLCK are encouraging, assisting, and enabling you to catch up using all the initiatives by the government, and we are there to continue to serve the members. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite our Deputy President, Mr. Selvam, to give us a welcoming speech. Over to you, Mr. Selvam.
Okay, thank you very much, moderator. Our Vice President, Dr. Navamani. She's also the chairperson for our Women Entrepreneur Development Committee and a successful business lady. I think a lot of you all know her. Okay, thank you very much, moderator. Okay, I wish to welcome everyone today, ladies and gentlemen, and members of Kuala Lumpur Selangor Indian Chamber of Commerce, and non-members, and I suppose many Malaysians, of non-Indian are also attending today's program. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. I think the intro by our moderator, I don't want to repeat. And I would like to share, okay, before that, I have to also welcome our wonderful, I think many people would have known, speakers of today, Ms. Sarala, founder and CEO of the Center of Applied Data Science, and also Ms. Khushbu of TEDx, a founder of a digital and marketing agency and a growth academy. Welcome, both of you. I think both of you can share with us challenges during this pandemic and also inspire all that participant today. Yeah. And then before that, I also like to introduce our Kuala Lumpur Selangor Indian Chamber of Commerce. Okay, it was founded in 1928. It's a 93 years organization, and we are situated in the middle of Kuala Lumpur city. And we have a our own building there. We have a full-fledged secretariat with the staffs, full-time, taking care of the business community. We have active members of 800 members and associate members, more than 3,000 members. And we serve all kind of businesses from small, medium, and large business, and also not forgetting the micro businesses where our youth, our young entrepreneurs and also our women majority in the micro businesses. I think today we want to cover everybody for the benefit of everybody. And then I think the speakers can address and share with us how these women and also the young entrepreneurs can be inspired today. And about the pandemic, I think everybody are aware the cases are keep on going up, and everybody, I think, are stressful, suffering in silence, many things. I think this program today, I think, is timely, for us to be inspired, get the confidence and go back to track. Okay, before that, I also like to introduce our ESCO. Our president is Dr. Ramanathan, and me, the deputy, and then Vice President, our Dr. Nawamani, the moderator, and then we have our Honorary Secretary General, Mr. Nivas, and then our Honorary Treasurer, Mr. Kumaraguru. And then we are 18 elected council members. All of us are all business people, and we lead each portfolio where our Deputy President, Dr. Nawa, is leading this women entrepreneur. Likewise, I'm leading the entrepreneur development, and we have international trade committee, we have a CSR committee, we have domestic trade committee, and we have young entrepreneur committee. All 18 elected are given a portfolio to contribute. And like the moderator mentioned just now in the opening, we are continuously doing a lot of this Zoom webinar programs to benefit all area of concern for our business community. Okay, I also like to share a little bit about during this pandemic and what I do and what I've also transformed my business in order to stay afloat. I'm doing a skill training college, having a skill training college, whereby last year when the pandemic March, it happened until the year end, we were struggling to bring new students. And we were closed for 3 months and then open for 3 months. College is closed, students come for a while, then after that they stay at home. So during this period, we do a lot of transforming our business. First thing is we introduced this online teaching, Google Classroom and all that. We introduced, and then now we are fine-tuned, and then that is going fine. Students are online. But on the skill part, of course, is lagging. On the theory part, I think we are already on track on the online teaching. But the most serious problem we face is we can't recruit new members. Okay, when we cannot recruit new members, our whole way of marketing was going physically to school to do presentation and all kind of activities, face-to-face activities we're doing where we could survive. But last year, towards the end of the year, I feel we were difficult to find new students. So what we did, we engaged this digital marketing. We engaged private companies to come and set up our digital marketing landing page in Google and all this kind of thing. So in November we started, and then I also employed more digital marketer in my organization. And today we are on track. We have, because of this digital marketing, we can't go school to school to do face-to-face. So today we are on track, and every month we manage to get one class starting. So it is the transformation change during this pandemic that we are surviving. And I'm very confident we will survive this pandemic, and hope for everybody will, some or other find the right thing to do, how to recover from this pandemic and come back to track and do better in coming months. Okay, that's all I would like to share. Thank you again, everybody. Those who just came in, welcome to this program. I hope so everybody will have some insight from the speakers. They share, and then all be inspired, and we will move forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Selvam, for the wonderful and enlightening speech. Ladies and gentlemen, the future is digitalization. Technology is here to stay. Let me introduce you to our first speaker, Ms. Sharala Exrit, the founder and CEO of the Center of Applied Data Sciences, in short CADS, ASEAN's first and only one-stop platform and center of excellence for data science. With a passion for data science and over 15 years of experience in the telecommunications field under her belt, Sharala Exrit is leading the data-driven business transformation and driving the benchmark for data science education in the ASEAN region. A thought leader in data science space, she's a highly sought-after speaker for conferences with topics ranging from analytics to women in STEM. Award winner of the EY Woman Entrepreneur of the Year 2017 Malaysia, CBA 2018 Woman Technopreneur of the Year, and among the Digirati 50 by Digital News Asia, DNA, she was part of the team that brought in the Data Incubator, an American-based data science center, to Malaysia, launched ASEAN's first data science accelerator program in 2016, and spearheaded an initiative with the Harvard Business School in Boston to support Malaysia's national agenda to be the hub for big data analytics, BDA. Prior to CATS, she worked with a diverse set of clients to deliver hands-on training through several workshops and training on GPRS, performance analysis, and optimization. Wow, I'm having goosebumps reading your, CV. As the founder,
I need to work on the CV just to shorten it, okay? I'll work on that.
And the managing director of ULearn, Sharala, and her team was successful with the hands-on technology training, eventually evolving to be the first in the industry to develop an automated competency gap analysis. Over to you, Ms. Sharala.
Ayo, thank you, Dr. Nawa. Hi, everyone. This is fantastic. Mr. Selvam, I heard how you have changed your business, and Nawa, thanks for having me. And I like that put women in charge music video you put. I think we had a chat before that we are in charge, but a lot of us forget that we are. So the topic today is for me, it's a very close to heart topic. A lot of you might say that, oh, but Shah, you're already in the technical world, you already understand digital, this must come easy for you. When Dr. Nawa approached me a few weeks ago to come and talk about this, I immediately said, yes, whatever time is it, I'll make it happen, because I think women in all businesses need to hear this and need to understand why this is important. And if you haven't, the word Dr. Nawa used, calibrated your business, I use pivot. I, like Mr. Selvam, have pivoted my businesses many times to stay relevant, regardless of the pandemic. And it's important to hear that and to talk about that. Aida, can you share the slides, please? Okay, so a little bit of introduction about myself. You hear my name, that's Sarla or Sharala. My mom would call me Sarla, but then his name is Agzrit. I'm married to a Swede, so I've taken his last name, but of course, it used to be Sharala Balakrishnan. So I really do know what it takes to be a Malaysian and to drive business here, being a woman entrepreneur. We could talk about the whole things that didn't work for us, but we can also talk about a lot of things that could work for us. Yeah. So I come from a small town in up north, near Penang, Bukit Metajam. Those who come from Seberang Jaya, Seberang Perai will know Bukit Metajam. Those who know our Anwar Ibrahim, you will also know that he's from my hometown. So I come from a small family. My dad is a civil servant. And I remember when I told my mom I wanted to become an engineer, she panicked. Okay, my mom would have wanted me to be a bank officer or teacher, but when I told her I wanted to become an engineer, her worry for me is who will marry me. Okay, that's all she went like, who'll marry you? And coming from a culture that education is extremely important, but ambition is something, could wait. This was something I was raised, in the back of my head. My mom is a very, very strong woman. And yet, like what Dr. Nawa's video said, put women in charge. There was still reservations what women can and should and shouldn't, and the guilt that it comes along with that. So I've come a long way. I did go to a local university. I went to UKM to do my engineering. I worked in one of the biggest telecommunication industry in Malaysia, but I left the country only to come back to build a better and a stronger business. But I think that the point that, we can always talk about the resistance that we get and the resistance internally we feel constantly. But the challenge of any entrepreneur is to be resilient, isn't it? I mean, we never give up and we never say we cannot do it. And probably that's the greatness
He's supposed to. No, I
of
remember
us side
actually
of
can change the.
running a business. Okay. Can we, I jump the next slide, please? So that's a little bit of introduction about me. So let's, every day we're checking the numbers, right? You know, what is COVID? What has COVID done to us? Now, let me tell you the reality. Before COVID, and we started CADS, the Center of Applied Data Science, somewhere 2014, 2013. Very early stages, people were not even strongly talking about digitization. And a lot of people shunned us away, saying that, why fix something that's not broken? What is this Industry 4.0? When you have Amazon, Google disrupting retail, today you have banks being disrupted by e-hailing companies like Grab, that they are getting, banking license, and banks like our Maybank and CIMB is worried out they're going to stay relevant. Nobody is safe from digitization and transformation. And people used to tell me, oh, I got 5 years to worry about this, Shah, it is too soon for you to come and talk about this in my company. Today, as of last year, companies are now going like, oh my God, can I have these like yesterday? So sadly, fortunately or unfortunately, COVID has expedited the digital transformation. Companies that thought that they could wait and look and see if somebody else has done it and failed, today cannot wait anymore. And we're talking about larger companies. And what about SMEs? What about companies like you and mine? What about companies that's 10 people in employees, or just 2 of us running it, right? Are you safe from this? And I don't need to give you that answer, and you're not. And that transformation is so important to talk about, and it starts from you. Even for big companies, the digital transformation comes from the CEO, and I cannot say more for smaller companies. It starts from the owner and the founder themselves. And it's good that Dr. Nawar brought Khushbu into this panel, because then you can hear her talking about branding and using digital to get more business. And we are LinkedIn friends. I can see that now everything she does is driven by data. And it's about time that we all started understanding how digital transformation and data is going to drive your business, calibrate your business, pivot your business. And today we're going to talk a little bit about how, and some success stories that I've seen other women that's not doing technology have done great things about their business. Yeah. Second slide, Jet. Okay. Now, the reality is Malaysia has about 1 million SMEs registered under our SME Corp. Yeah, so that's the data we have. And almost 21% of it are women-owned businesses. You know what is the saddest part? Since the first MCO, about 100,000 companies have ceased operations. And another scary, because for a lot of us, that's our livelihood. And for Malaysia, even in Singapore, the GDP of a company, SMEs contribute 30 to 40%. That means we contribute to the economy, we create jobs. There's so much SMEs do. But to have like 100,000 companies shut down since the first MCO, that's scary. And what has happened? Why couldn't they pivot? Why couldn't they calibrate their business? And that's a question that all of us are asking. And the government has come through a lot, doing a lot of help for companies to go digital, companies to pivot. And that's what I think we should start riding on. If you're not aware, it's about time that we looked at it. Yeah. Next slide, Jet. Now, the new norm we talk about now we're doing this whole Zoom online, and the new norm is anytime my internet could like log me out. So everybody's using internet, from schools, from us business meetings, for us to do digital marketing. The new norm has changed the way we do business. And there's no way out for SMEs to survive if they don't do that transformation. And we're not talking like big companies where you have to spend millions to transform. Small things like, I'm very sure Khushbu will touch base, a lot of those stuff that people can start looking at. You can only get ideas if you have data and see people doing it. So you don't expect to do the same thing and and deliver different results. And I always say you got to change the way you do things in order to get different results. So you can see the new norm has been about how accelerate digitization, through digital tools, through other means that you can use through your phone and your laptops, that we can start, making a difference. How do we provide more support people working remotely? If you don't have employees, how you can tap on, like what Mr. Silvam was saying, he hired a whole digital marketing team to pivot his business. If you can't, how can you do revenue sharing with these people to actually bring more business to you? So many different ways you can think about how do you create opportunities if you cannot get, or you can't afford to have a staff in your team, yeah? And then how, if you have staffs, and then how do you transform your whole business into this digital way of living, is ensuring all your employees understand what it requires, be it if you're in a upskilling work, be it if you're in retail, all your staff need to understand how they need to pivot the business, just not you alone telling everybody we got to do it. You need to get them to learn. So part of that, if you have employees in your company, resistance comes from not knowing. So I use this Malay proverb always, right? Tak kenal maka tak sayang. Because they don't understand, you get cultural resistance to transform businesses. And that goes to an individual too. Like I was so, I'm an engineer and I run a tech company, and I found it so leceh at my age that we were using Teams and suddenly I have to use Zoom, and you just resist things that you don't know. And then when you force yourself, and situation forces it, then you learn. So how do you create an environment for people to be able to learn at their own time, but quickly and effectively, yeah? So this is what we call, the new norm. And you're not alone, because this cannot be done by enterprises alone, universities alone. This has to be a huge part of it. The government needs to play its role. And our government, I've seen it in Singapore, I played huge roles in encouraging companies to adopt digitization. And when I talk about this, sometimes we think about, we are talking about businesses. And I'm telling you today, your children, my children's education is being disrupted, not just by COVID going online and studying, but what they study and how they study. So we're talking about data, analytics, and all that. It has to become like mathematics for our kids. Everybody needs to understand data and insight, and how do you build that? So when you have a situation where our kids' education, like, my dad used to get so upset that, I have horrible handwriting and you would want me to practice the teachers. My kids have, oh my God, unreadable handwriting. And I'm wondering whether I should make an issue out of it, because everything they do is on their laptop and PC and iPad, right? They have Word that autocorrect spelling, right? They have Excel that can give you, maths addition. So when their way of learning has been disrupted, I'm wondering whether our old method of educating our children is even applicable anymore. So when you have so many changes with our education system, us working for someone, how we have to change and upscale ourselves, and business themselves have to stay relevant with the whole changes that's happening. You realize there's going to be a lifetime of change, and it's really interesting that you're not alone, and people are actually doing this, playing their part in doing webinars, creating awareness that if it's not now, you should have done this yesterday. So that's the new norm, and the strategies that, if you don't already know, and now you're going, I'm a convert, where do I begin? I think it becomes really important. Jack, next slide. Okay. What we tell businesses is you must be brave to embrace the digitization. Now, 4 years ago, I used to say that digitization, the failure for digitization is very, very high. People buy technology, but they don't have the people to actually man it or the knowledge to do that. Then people go like, I paid for this and I've done this. Facebook, LinkedIn, and Khushbu clearly talks about how she hasn't paid a single cent to get the social media out. And that's fantastic, because now you don't have to do plug and pray and hope for works the best, because today You can learn so much about the mistakes other people have done, but you've got to be brave to embrace digitization, because what people love to say is, don't fix what's not broken. Now, if you do have a good business that's not digital, eventually you're going to run out of luck. It's good that you try to adapt when you still can. Now, people that have been doing traditional businesses today, like selling clothes, or, you can have fairs to put up like week to do your, now that's not possible. You got to look at how do you embrace digitization to get that. And there's so many people doing out there, doing these kind of things online, and you go like, what's the difference? At least if I had a pop-up shop, I know that I got my clients and target clients around that area. Now you want me to go digital, I'm opening it up. You say the market is wider, but I got more competition than before. And I will share part of some of the projects that Naveen has done, that how people have pivoted some businesses that I found it so heartwarming and like crazy, right? How resilient entrepreneurs can be. So the change is inevitable, right? I've been nagging and complaining about it. But having 90% organization have to do a digital first, meaning if you're a small business or big, you got to think about, how do I use WhatsApp? How do I use Facebook? How do I use networks to carry out word by mouth the products that I have? And how do I let people understand how to use it if you have some interesting product that needs to be shown how to be used, yeah? And there's a real need to prepare talents we talk about. In this case, talents here mean you yourself have to learn to do that. It always, I always say charity starts from home. So it starts from the CEO, it starts from the founder to be able to apply it in order to do this. It gives a huge advantage. Data shows 50% of business, 100% of business that adopts digitization see 50% of increase in revenue. So it's not something that you're going to try and it's not going to work out. You know that you're going to try, and if you're persistent in getting it right, you know that you're going to either pivot a business, calibrate, or you're going to get more income, yeah? And I think if you don't know where to begin and how to do it, and there's a lot of programs available out there, Mitra is doing it, HRDF is doing it, Perkeso is doing it, especially for entrepreneurs, because that's a sustainable business. If you cannot be reskilled and get a job with someone, and you can learn this in many, many ways, you just have to reach out, talk to people, and get the help you need. So I think there's no excuse about going like, oh, they keep talking about it, and it's not so easy. Shai is already an engineer, she knows how these work. I will share with you what are the things that I had to do to pivot my own technology business to get everybody on board to understand why the pivoting is so important. Yeah, next slide, Jack. Now, what's in for me? Okay, right? You're an entrepreneur. You don't make the change, you don't have a business. Probably you're thinking about retiring. Maybe it's a good sign that you think that, this pandemic says I've done this long enough and I should quit. Be it, right? But having said that, for those who feel the pain to want to stay and need an income, be it you are a single, single founder, or it's a private limited, whatever it is so important that digitization and analytics and adapting, the way we move with Industry 4.0, you get efficiency and productivity. So if you have not great revenue, all you need also to look at how you can reduce costs, and digitization will allow you to do that. There is investment need to be done, but there's soft loan being provided, that's help being provided by MDEC, by banks. So we should always look up for the opportunity to see what we can do. It provides, the main thing is provide growth, right? Including you, your family, and your kids. I think it's important to understand this, and how do you actually build that? And then no pun about this when I say that performance increases, like, I've seen Khushbu say that 90% of a business comes from a repeated customers over digital, and that's fantastic. And that's what we think that performance could actually create. Digitization actually can create great performance to get into that. Jet, next slide. Okay, now how do I begin? Okay, you have seen since the MCO, online food shopping has increased by 53%, grocery shopping more than 150%, yeah? Food delivery like Grab and Food Panda, all of them have seen increase. So when you have a platform out there, you have the Alibaba Group, you have Grab, you have Food, you even have e-Usahawan set by MDEC. When you have all these platforms to be able to sell and you've seen increase in people buying stuff online, what is stopping us from using this e-commerce platform? Existing, readily available, simple to use. And I think you should try and make a few errors, and many errors if possible, because during this lockdown is where sometimes I think it gives you the downtime to be able to reinvent your business. So these are the platforms available out there, and SMEs are always given special privileges to use these platforms. So people should go and explore to see what it works for you. Yeah. Next slide. When I spoke about, I've seen with Nawam some of great successes on traditional businesses. This is where I would like to share some of the great stories that I've seen and heard, and even I buy to give support for these women. Yeah. I have, there was this lady that does clothing lines, and she used to sell online, and she got into the program because part of her, we're in COVID, I'm in shorts now, right? I'm just wearing a pullover just to look nice in the Zoom. So people don't buy clothes anymore. And how are you planning to sell more clothes if you go digital, you might ask? And this is very important. One of the great things that this, this particular entrepreneur did was she got into this program, and she started getting into a network of people and realized in Europe, and I've lived some part of my life in Europe, that there are people and there are countries that buy linen products during summer and non-chemical linen products. So she has found that she got a niche for her business, and like any other clothing business where it's overcrowded with the pandemic, nobody wants to buy. And there are places outside Malaysia that specifically wants this kind of product in place. So that's what I found it very exciting. Once she got into digital, once she got a product out, she started realizing that she might not be able to compete with other people, and people are not, buying this. Now you got a whole different market in Europe that's willing to pay premium for linen that's authentic. Now, the other story that I, found it very interesting is this other entrepreneur who had a spa business. Now, I think the whole 1.5 years we've been in this lockdown, I think any hairdressers and spas were only allowed to open like 5-6 months in the last whole lockdown. And what she has found is there was a great need for men's spa. And you're wondering, why would she keep wanting to open up more spas when, it doesn't seem like we're ever going to get out from a lockdown? But she is prepared, that she knows the moment the lockdown gets lifted, she knows that she will be able to make the money that she lost the year before. So she is now preparing herself for men's spa and just waiting for the lockdown to be lifted so she could make. And all this decision came because she went digital. She had data. She understood the market. More than women's spa, there is a market for men. Yeah. The other story I like, and that's very, very, and I give business to this person too, is she has created an organic farm, and I'm not buying vegetables here, okay? She has created an organic farm where she does soap out of natural organic products. And today, with digitization, with the network she has built, she is OEMing her product to other people in other countries and locally. And I'm one of them who buys this because I think it's cheap and I don't need to give Body Shop as much business as they require. And I can help another woman entrepreneur to sell a product that works really well. Now, you got to be aware that a lot of people are willing to buy from local businesses as much as possible. So we should tap on that, and you should be lucky that you'll be able to tap the network that you have. So these are the exciting stories that I've heard. Now that's more about a business that's a little bit more mature. So what if you're an individual? how do I get on, how do I tap on this digitization? Now, there are programs under Mitra that I've seen that my fellow members in NAWEM has done this. So if you have one talent, let's say you're good at baking, or you're good at sewing, or you're good at knitting, you can actually get them, and they will help you look at how you can digitize and market your product. So you don't need a big business. If you have a talent that I think you should go for it and try to build around that. And there's so many programs out there, and so many women are successful for that. And I know this one particular entrepreneur, she bakes cakes. And what she does is she has so many, she tried out so many different cakes, and she decided her chocolate cake, it's a hot seller. And she perfectified the system of how she was going to bake. And she used to, and I think she still does, sell about 1,000 chocolate cakes a day. And she does it with her helper, just two of them, and she just gets it out like a production company, and just one flavor. And the reason she got that done is because she digitized herself. She understood the market. She knew that was a market for chocolate cake, and she did the best chocolate cake that people liked, and she kept selling. So if you're wondering, why is everybody else being successful and I can't? The reason is you haven't gone digital, you don't have a network, you're not seeing a pattern, you don't have the data, and that is why you struggle to pivot. But the fact that you're here today is a reason why that you look at how you can build this. Now, so much so stories about successful women out there. A little bit about CATS, like how Mr. Silvam shared about his story. Let me talk about who we are and how did we come about in CATS. Next slide. So we are a tech company, and when I came back from Europe with my second child, we wanted to come back because I have a business and my husband has a business, and we needed to have a place where we can have a support system where we can get helpers, and I can leech on my parents to help me take care of my kids. There was a purpose in the company when we started CATS. It was so important that when I came back, how do we stop brain drain? Malaysia is the highest brain drain in ASEAN. And then we also complain about our young graduates are not employable, right? Our employability rate is at 11 to 13%. So why do we have people leaving the country at the same time we say our graduates are unemployable? So that was the reason why when I came back, we started with the purpose that how do we build, how do we future-proof the world? How do we future-proof the people like us that we can get a better job? We leave the country because we want a better job. But how do we create that better job with the skills? And we don't want to be just, production workers or just not do on technology, yeah? So that's how CATS came about. We want to future-proof the world by transforming, talents. What we believed is the kind of talent you produce in the country is the kind of investment that you get. So if you're at a call center, you got great people speaking English, then you get that kind of investment. If you get great talents that have data literacy, then you get innovative investing. So the reason why with the purpose in mind. And Jack, next slide. Okay, so when we built this, it's all about this, what we do. And I'm not going to be, talking about what is strategy, what is data literacy. But when I started CATS, it's all about, we were forced to become an education company because we lacked talent that did, data science and data literacy. But I had to pivot my business just before the pandemic because scalability and Industry 4.0, it will not, forget about COVID, yeah? It would not be kind to a services industry if I wanted to scale. Your business is limited to the amount of people that you have in your business, and digitization has no limitation. So that's what we wanted with the business. And I had to revamp the business to go digital just before the pandemic hit us. And that's what helped us sustain the business during the pandemic. We already worked with people, upskilling them through Zoom. We already minimized, interaction in a very early stage because the pandemic was already on the road about, in I think last year, January, when Chinese New Year, and we started already embracing working from home. Dr. Nawa has given me a cue. I got 1 more minute. So Jat, can you just go through the slides so we can finish it out with the bang? We started in a very early stages where nobody believed that analytics and data and digitization was needed. People told us, even universities told us that, oh, it's broken. Today we are in the board of University Malaya, UTM, UKM, working on changing the syllabus and embedding digital into that. Yeah. So we've come a long way. Today we have a platform that's called CATS AI. It's AI based, but the journey wasn't easy. The struggle isn't easy. But again, like what Dr. Nawa said, if all of us could do it, what's stopping you from making that change? Jat, next slide. So what I would like to leave you with, and I think it will be great that Khushbu will be taking after me, is act now, and you've got no reason not to do it. We have given you every single reason to do it. Help, there's monetary help for that. Khushbu will be talking how you can do personal branding on digitization, how can you brand your product. But the one thing that you got to know, and I think all entrepreneurs know that, right? Our resilience is what our strength is. And you got nothing to lose. As an entrepreneur, there's always a risk. We always take a bet. And that's in the blood, I guess. So you got to do that. You'll fail probably many times, but the results that you're going to get by doing this is going to outweigh all the failures you've got. So leap of faith, people, not jobs that makes the difference. So your job is what you love doing. And I think that's the great part about being an entrepreneur, that, you'll be able to make your own path and build your own, dream. So with that, everybody, thank you for your time and patience for listening. Dr. Nawa said I should stay on. Khushbu will do her piece and I will take questions from that. Thank you so much.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Nawa, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sharala. I'm so sorry I needed to tell you that 1 more minute, because everyone will have a lot of things to ask and we want to have the question and answer later part. So that's why I wanted you to, I'm sure you
don't
can share.
apologize. It's very important to have a timekeeper, right? I like my stage and I'll take it. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And your success story was really overwhelming. And yes, we will take the questions in the later part. Please post your questions in the chat box. Now, I would like to welcome our second speaker, none other than Ms. Khushbu Nangalia. In fact, Sharala did a lot of job for me. She kept on talking about Khushbu. Khushbu is a TEDx speaker, founder of digital marketing agency and Growth Academy. She was awarded as Marketeers and Malaysia's Women Leader. She's also the top 100 LinkedIn consultant, marketing strategist. Khushbu is an entrepreneur, award-winning marketeer, and founder of Beyond 99, a global digital growth agency based out of Malaysia. You know what? She started early at 17 with over a decade of experience now. She's an expert in business storytelling, millennial marketing, digital marketing, and LinkedIn marketing, with a reputation as one of the most dynamic and accomplished young leaders under 30. Well, now you know she's under 30 in the increasingly important area of digital marketing. She has also won awards like 100 Most Influential Youth Marketing Leader by CMO Asia and World Federation of Marketing. She has won award in Women Business Leaders in Malaysia by World CSR and World Sustainability, Excellence and Leadership in Branding and Marketing by the Golden Globe Tiger Awards, Top 9 Marketeers to Follow in Malaysia by Marketing in Asia and Online Magazine, Youngest Invited Member of Top Voices Malaysia, 30 most influential people on LinkedIn. I'm also having another goosebump here, Khushbu. Top LinkedIn icons in Malaysia by the Sun Daily, TEDx speaker on power of business storytelling in 2018. Well, she was startups, guest lecturer at various universities, marketing tastemaker, and host of Women of Impact show, empowering women leaders across the globe, helping businesses and individuals to conquer growth with LinkedIn and modern sales, fluff-free coaching that empowers you with growwithsaltandpepper.com. Over to you, Miss Khushbu Nangalia.
You have literally made me speechless, Dr. Nawar. Let me tell you. I mean, I don't think what have I done to deserve such a wonderful introduction. It really took me down the memory lane. Thank you so much. It's very humble of you to use such polite words and the way you have just conducted. Let me also tell you, you have that beautiful voice which I've been hearing for the last 40 minutes. I mean, before Salra, of course, you introduced her, and I was like, oh my God, what a voice.
Yes,
So definitely. No. Thank you so much for that introduction. I am really humbled, really humbled, and a little shy as well right now about it. But yes, thank you so much for having me. And what a wonderful sharing, Sarala. I was just catching up with everything that you've mentioned, and the accolades that you have with your name and the way you have grown in your journey and the attitude of like just making it happen. I loved it across. So I enjoyed your talk. Now let me give a backstory, guys. Just about 30 minutes ago, no, I would say 45 minutes ago is when I realized I have to give a full talk. I was absolutely in the notion that, okay, it's going to be a chit chat session. So yes, guys, I'm definitely going to bring in a little bit about myself, how the journey has been, and what has this pandemic done to me. But before that, hi guys, a very good evening. I hope you all are having a wonderful evening out and had a great long day, little relaxed back. Of course, you're all switched off with your cams. I would love if the cams are on, if possible. Even if you're not looking nice, it's okay. We all are at home and we know that. It's cool. It's absolutely, oh yes, I love you guys. So nice to see you on the cams. Yes, guys, come at, wow. Okay, you're getting me motivated. Yes. Hi, guys. It's so lovely to see all of you. Okay, really. Yeah, Keith is here as well. I can see Jin, I can see Mary, Kiran, Fazia, and then we have, okay, Bhavani. Oh, lovely. We have Susie as well. Wow. Guys, this is awesome. This feels like a real women to women talk, and we can genuinely connect with each other because I can see all of you. Trust me, my excitement level, my fun side of it, all of it is at its peak. Let me tell you a quick heads up. Whatever Dr. Nawar said, whatever, okay, let's just not consider any of those things about me, because the fact is it happened. I'm happy it did, and humbled. Everything is fine. But let me tell you, behind all of those success, there are hundreds of failure stories, which not many people know it, which I'm sure you guys have experienced in your own due life as well. And it happens with everybody. It's just that when you chunk it all together, it's like, oh my God, it's wow. So just keep the wow side of it. Let's talk about the failure side of it. Let's talk about the challenges side of it and what didn't work side of it. And that's what I'm here to share with everybody out here today. I can see some of you are familiar faces. They know me a little bit, but this will be an absolutely different experience, because whenever I interact with a lot of women entrepreneurs, leaders, ambassadors of their own life, drivers of their own success, I feel a different sense of energy. And that is what has motivated me to actually, in the first place, when Dr. Nawar reached out to me and said it's going to be something related to the pandemic and women thing, I said, okay, I don't even want to know anything about it. I'm all up for it, because let's go and chat and have that amazing casual time with all of you. So yes, guys, I'm going to share a little bit, but then I want to have discussions in chat. So I'll try to have a bit of a background about myself. Of course, I started at 17, and Dr. Nawar very beautifully had placed the entire story. But why? Why did I started at 17? A very healthy age to go and enjoy with other kids and be at the college and do all of those things. So I have been very notorious as a kid, adventurous, a good kid, but notorious. And when you have that persona, you don't expect to get started at 17. Trust me, I was not. Being a goal-oriented person also, nowhere this was in my cards. But the first thing I want to tell you guys is life doesn't go the way we want it to go. If it was like that, then where is the fun? You know, if I knew what's happening tomorrow, is it going to be any fun? Imagine. I don't think so. You know, if we were just able to craft everything before even it did, it just kills the entire excitement. Of course, most of the situations when comes towards us, it's not fun when we are in it. And one such situation was, I had lost my father at the age of 16. And it was a very unexpected situation for our entire family. And for no financial reason. So I will definitely say for no financial reason, but for the reason to support my mother, because I did not want it to be dependent on her financially, though she could take care of everything, all of us, but I did not wanted that I need to go to her for little things and disturb her. And that motivated me to start at the age of 17. My father had done well for us, and that teaches me, Kush, save well in your life because you don't know what's going to happen. So he did save well and he left us with a good living. But yes, I was very clear that since that day, I'll try my best to not depend on my mom for anything. Gladly, after starting my work from 17, since 18 and a half till today, I've never asked a penny to my mom. Was financially independent from that day, have taken care of my education and all of it. But it was not easy. When I started at that point of time, the first job that I took was data entry. Nothing, it was data entry. It was just entering data. And I used to come back from the school and work the rest of the 6-7 hours which I had and do all of those. I'm so happy I did that because it really allowed me to pick up a lot of different aspects of the platforms which I never knew as a kid at that time. But the fact is that point of time, I learned nothing is small. You know, I was a girl who was like, oh, I want to wear branded clothes. I was like that. Let me tell you, before the incident, I had, but you know, when that incident happened, overnight, my life changed with no complaints. It just happened automatically for me. And even $1 was something I started valuing it. So life does throws us adversity. I don't want any of us to go through that, what I had been through, but it just prepares you and gives you a different side of opportunity. If you want to take it, you take it. If you want to leave it, you leave it. Since then, this all happened back in India. So by now, I'm sure, guys, almost 90% of you would have guessed it that she is an Indian by default. I mean, that's given. I don't know, that's given. Whether it's the accent, whether it's the look, it's just given. And not born and brought up in Malaysia. So born and brought up in India to a middle class family, not like a richy family. Simple middle class family with a super strict father, very strict. And about 6 years ago is when exactly I moved to Malaysia. When I moved here, it had already been 6 years in business or 5 years in business for me. We were doing well, but still the country was absolutely new for us, with no networks, with no direct contacts, and let's just say no super riches as well. And that was the second big change my life was going through, not only leaving my mom back only because she wanted me to explore a new country. I would have never moved here if she was not a support system and she said, no, you go all out and do it. But at that point of time where I knew nobody in this entire whole new world, today I can, not as bragging, but very humbly tell you, founder of a digital boutique agency, founder of a digital academy, and someone who is running her show every single week, which is one of its kind, business live talk show on LinkedIn. All of these three things, how did it happen? And the reason why I said yes to Dr. Nawar in the first place was two of these things started after 18th of March 2020. So guys, to give a context for the ones, if you don't remember the date, 18th of March was the first lockdown that was got declared in Malaysia. And we were back at our home to a completely new environment, which we knew nothing about. And these two things, how did this happen? So the fact is, Beyond 99 as an agency was doing phenomenally well. Why was that doing well? I will also share it with you because I really want it to be, I really want you guys to go and duplicate the same thing for yourself if at all it's applicable for your life. I knew nobody in this country. After that, a few years, I built a few contacts and it was quite internal. You know, it was not something outside. I knew many people, neither was I a speaker, nor was I a trainer or a coach or anything. No, guys, nothing. But something interesting happened with me by chance. In early 2018, I had that strong urge of going out in the world, outside of my cocoon, you know, outside of my own circle, outside of my own people. Now, knowing them is good, I know it, but they know me for certain things and they are not ready to look at me in a different manner. Either it is the cousins, either it is the parents, or either it is in-laws, or either it is childhood friends, or even to your existing clients and corporates, because they have seen you in a certain manner. And I had that strong urge of going out and seriously expressing myself. But as much as it looks unbelievable, guys, I'm very shy on the inside when it comes to interacting with or expressing myself to a platform where I know people. Like, even if I come on the talk and my father-in-law will be like, Kush, can I come and attend? I'm like, no, you cannot, because I feel a huge sense of shyness. And Facebook and Instagram was filled with those people I already knew in my life. And that just took away a large part of my potential because I couldn't express any of it on that platform. And my partner, so thanks to him, he told me, Kush, why not try LinkedIn? Just go. And guess what? Nobody knew me on LinkedIn. Nobody. 400 people were in my connections, and that too, almost most of them were inactive. Or even if there were a few, doesn't matter, because who is watching me? I mean, who knows about me? Nobody. So I can hide out. But genuinely, that runaway, that simple, stupid thought, I really feel like, yes, stupid thought of running away from that noise and expressing to a place which was quite silent, landed me to LinkedIn, which not only gave me a realization of my inner voice, but also one very important thing which we as women many times lack. I'm not saying you guys do, but I'm saying many women lack, having spoken at so many conferences, is self-worth, realization of what we are able to do in our own life. Being an entrepreneur for 12 years now, my journey was very different for the last 3 as compared to the earlier years. And these last 3 years, when I started expressing myself, I started putting out myself, what happened? I think I can surely share this particular thing on the slide with all of you. Do you guys see my slides? Give me a thumbs up if you see my slides.
Yes, we can see the slide.
Okay, super. So I'm going to just jump in, and this move, which I had not think or thought of anything will happen, this is what happened. I was able to grow my LinkedIn network organically, not even a single penny spent on advertising, from 400 to 25,000. Forgive me, it's actually 27 by now. It was just 30 minutes. So like, take my slide and put it up. So it's really an old slide by now. But yes, 27,000 people, in which it's not one country, but spread across globally in few other countries. 1.8 million views among the people who are today referred as decision makers, thought leaders, and professional influencers. I was able to speak at TEDx at more than 120 events, and now I can say 121, keeping this as a number. This was not something that was before 2018. Got multiple awards, and all of this might seem numbers, guys, but the fun and the most important part in our life is the money hitting the bank? Is the bank balance increasing by any chance? Are we getting more clients? Yes. So why Beyond 99 was profitable? My company based out of Malaysia started 2018, the second organization. Within the first 3 months, it was profitably doing amazing because of this network, which started to believe in me. It was really difficult. Let me tell you guys, it was very difficult for me when I started during the early few weeks, because being a foreigner, it was not easy to get the trust of the locals. I'd faced those expressions. I had faced those misbeliefs. I had faced that, what if you start and you don't complete, and all of those things. And that kind of broke me from inside. But then when you, as I heard Sarla also saying, she had prepared earlier than even pandemic had hit in. And these small acts of creating a voice, a brand, prepared me to take in every single blow that was coming my way. What does a brand do, guys? It's very simple. Even if you are a business, even if you are a solopreneur, even if you are a freelancer, or let's just say at this point of time, discovering yourself and not sure what to do. One thing that really matters is people buy from people, people trust people, and people connect with people. It's nothing else. Today, Tony Fernandez or Richard Branson or all the leaders of the organization, they have become the face of their company. What they say, we listen more than their company. We love reading what Bill Gates is talking rather than Microsoft, or what Mark Zuckerberg is telling rather than Facebook. because we like to be able to speak to human on the other side. And the only beautiful thing that happened on this platform was I got introduced to a world that I didn't know existed. I got to know people I didn't know were there. And then the relationship took in and it flew to a different level altogether. Beyond 99, this network definitely helped. But what was the other two organization I told you was actually born out of this pandemic? And literally, I call them my pandemic babies because they got incorporated during the pandemic times. So let me just also tell you a little bit of the failure side of it. Beyond 99 was flourishing. 2018, profitable. 2019, profitable. Ended gloriously. 2020, we stepped in. Pandemic didn't hit Malaysia by then, but we lost 2 big pitches for the year. We just lost it. There were several reasons to it, and we can calculate it, but we lost it. I'm not blaming this to pandemic because it was not the pandemic. When you're doing a business, one thing is for sure, not every day is a sunshine. And you must be prepared for a roller coaster ride. And unluckily, it was a back-to-back blow on us. We were just recovering from that blow and signing contracts with 3 major businesses. One was shipping to get them from UK to Malaysia. The other was an oil business to get them from Dubai to Malaysia. And third was a local company to help them establish their marketing. Among them, 2 of them, I remember so clearly, the brand, which was the oil brand, we were supposed to sign the contract on 20th of March. 18th of March when the lockdown happened. And email was, okay, Khush, let's meet and sign up the contract at 20th. When 18th this happened, we got an email saying, okay, no worries, let's hold up for 14 days since we can't launch the campaign. It's fine, we can wait, we'll sign the contract after those 14 days. You know it, guys, I know it. Those 14 days never ended, and it doesn't seem like ending. From 1 to the 10th, 14th day we stretched until September. It'll happen, it'll happen, it'll happen, it'll happen. And then I knew it'll never happen. And we lost all the 3 contracts, because the budgets were pulled off on marketing. Very obvious, right? When the world is uncertain, there's 2 things that happens in every organization. Budgets from marketing pulls off, and anything external, any external cost is pulled off. And that exactly happened with us. Even if you might say we were in the digital space, we were in the marketing space, that is the economy, people are moving online. Guys, people are moving online. There is money in the ecosystem. Money has not gone anywhere, but people are holding on it. And that's anybody. Even I would do that. If I'm not sure what's happening, I would not go and put my money into something where I might need in a contingency situation. So I relate with my clients also. When this happened, 18th March, 54 hours later, straight 54 hours later, I said, okay, no problem. Got a bit of an extra time. Let's not waste. We launched Malaysia's first of its kind LinkedIn live talk show. Coming live for 1 hour consistently. We thought of doing it for 9 episodes only and wanted to give it a pause because the lockdown was of only 14 days. We said, okay, let's do it for the 9 days consistently. We did for the 9 days. We did it consistently. We said, okay, lockdown again, let's expand it. Again came back. Today, we are on 68th episode. We made it a consistent deal. It was hard. It was not easy because our existing clients were still with us. So the bandwidth was there. We had to invest, but all I knew is, Kush, do you want to watch the Netflix like everybody else is doing? Which was true. I was getting my friends messaging, Kush, let's play, let's do Netflix. And I'm like, I don't have time to sleep. Forget about playing or watching Netflix. And the fact is, in the entire pandemic last year, subconsciously, not intentionally, guys. So if you're intentionally trying to prevent yourself from watching Netflix, that means there is a problem. You're not enjoying what you're doing. It just happened. I did not see anything on Netflix. And not only me, my partners also. Because we were so much enjoying the entire process of going through the journey. And guess what? Who were the people who were there on that show? Azran Oman Rani, ex-CEO of AirAsia, today co-founder of Naluri, co-founder of Lazada HP, co-founder of Fave CC, Chief Growth Marketing Officer of AirAsia, Ravi Shankar, CEO of AirAsia Media, Sumit Ramchandani. And I'm telling some names locally only. I'm not saying the names of the people which were from the other parts of the world, so that you guys can actually relate with them. And you know what, something? The selfish motive was there. Two selfish motives. First, a childhood dream. As a child, once upon a time, I wanted to become a reporter. And I was very crazy about it. So I was like, okay, I want to ask questions to people. I really want to go and I want to ask, how do they do it in this? And ever in my life, if somebody asks me, Kush, if you get a wish, then what will be your wish? Then I've always had this wish to be able to spend time with the people who have done and dusted it. If one wish in life given to me, I just want 1 week with Mark Zuckerberg, 1 week with Bill Gates, 1 week with Richard Branson. And that is my thing. And I want to stay with them day in, day out. I want to see what they do, how they live, what's their life like. Of course, the dream is yet to be fulfilled. I'm not there yet. But one thing I could do for sure is I can invite some of the people who had done so well in their life, spend time with them behind the scene. But then I thought, it's not fair if I have an opportunity, and by that time my community size was already 15,000. I said, if the community is there, why not I bring them live and I share their story with everybody, because everybody had some time in life to learn. He said, cool. And then I spoke to a few. They said, yes, Kush, we are all up. Their positivity, our enthusiasm, not giving up to the pandemic, even if there was no money. So asterisk, guys, there was no money in this entire thing. It was taking a lot of our resources to get it done. My team was into it full-fledged to make it happen as well. But still we said, no worries, we will do it. Because one thing that pandemic had given, and as a marketer, I'm a very big fan of numbers and data. So I run a lot of numbers. Nobody is ready to buy, guys. You can't sell during this time. If you try to do that, all you would do is you will build a you will actually retract, those people from you. So today, if you want to win, you want to win people. And the ones who have won it, they will stick by you when the time is right. And they'll think of you when the time is right, because you were with them when they needed you. So this entire thought, we started Linkpreneur Stories, which is the business talk show. If you go to linkpreneur.com, you will see everything that I've talked about just now. It has garnered more than 200,000 views so far, with viewers across the globe and guests from more than 12 countries, probably. I'm not too sure. I can't remember the numbers, guys. This journey was only getting initiated. And one thing that I came across was, so we could have chose to just do this and wait for the time to get right. I already had a business running. things were working well. Nobody was retrenched from our organization. God's grace, thank you so much, blessed in that way. And neither pay cuts happened because the organization was running, and we were okay to pull out a little bit of saving because we did not want the teams to get impacted at all. But then we listened to a silent voice that came our way. And I want to tell you guys, these voices come to us almost every day. Are we attentive or not is just on us. So what happened is, there was a project which came our way, which we were preparing a COVID campaign for them. So as a marketing company, you do COVID campaigns. So we were doing a COVID campaign, and I was sitting and doing research on that organization. I came across an article posted by Star in last year, June, probably around June. And the article just read one thing, which was 2 million job lost in Malaysia over the last few months only. I could have chose to not do anything, which is generally the thing. But I said I was able to win my business through LinkedIn because I was able to understand how the dynamics of the platform is. Coming from the marketing background, I knew the strategies and I knew the algorithm as well. I said, if people are losing job, and let's just say LinkedIn has that reputation of the jobs platform, what if I can bring in something for everybody and I can train and guide them that, guys, come to LinkedIn. You will be able to win the deal. I have been able to do it as a foreigner. I'm telling you, as locals, you have a better chance any day. And we launched a LinkedIn learning program at $1. Literally at $1. Of course, that was something that as a bandwidth, we cannot pull it off. As an organization, I have to take care of my bread and butter as well. So we wanted to help people. We went all out and we invited for the first 2 rounds, and we went ahead and we asked people to come up and sign at $1, the entire program. And today with that program, people have got jobs. People have got back to the business. People have been able to get leads. So I just want to tell you guys, don't just think about money immediately, because the same thing today, which was launched as a fun, became a business, Salt and Pepper Growth Academy, which has coached more than easily 2,000 plus people across, in which personally under our brand, there has been more than 800 to 900 people coached under the Direct brand. It became a business today. People are trusting us. They want us to coach. I'm working with a 140 sales team right now to just train them on the pandemic times. So just go and do whatever you can, guys. Empower people. You don't know who's listening. You don't know who is sitting and just hearing you out, because I did not know that 3 investors are hearing me out. For Salt and Pepper, we have already done our angel round in April, initiated from May. We got our investors in, and the investor came in how, let me tell you, through Linkpreneur Stories, guys. He saw us, he saw our work, he saw our passion. He finally became a speaker. I invited him. I did not know that he had something else in his mind. 6 months later, he reached me out saying, Kush, I want to invest. Same way, 2 other investors also reached out, but we did not want to work with them because it was not the money. We wanted domain expertise. So we went all out. We signed the contract with the investor. He's in and there. So guys, I want to say, go out, build a voice for yourself, build a brand for yourself. If you need any help on LinkedIn, I'm there for you. And I just want to tell you, I'm on the platform. Reach out to me. If I'm able in my capacity, I will surely add value. But with my content, I definitely try and share things that you can pick up and share. I had some tips to share with you all in this session, but Dr. Nawar has already given me a red flag that Khush, your time is up. So I can't do that, guys. Some other day, of course, but just want to tell you that your destiny is in your hand. Stop pitying yourself. Stop crying on the losses. Stop crying on your yesterday. Tomorrow is still here to win only if you focus on coming out of your comfort zone in present, which is today. It wasn't easy when I started. It will not be easy for you as well. So that is all I had to share for today, how the last few years in the pandemic has been for me. And thank you so much, Dr. Nawar, for having me. I hope I've not exceeded too much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Khushbu. You were very, very inspiring. You made the day for all of us here. No regrets. In fact, I would want to say that, yeah, I can give you more time for tips, but then it's okay. What we will do is we will have this question and answer session. And if at all you could, give the tips while answering those questions. Yes. And I noticed only one question in the chat box, which is, I think it is for Sharla. Sharla, are you there?
I am.
Okay.
I have
So
to listen to
there's
Khushbu. How could I not? Yeah.
There's a question from Zuraida. What about the company that provides services like testing lab? Our nature of business require actual work on site, i.e. site audit or building. How digitalization helps this industry? If the question is not very clear, Zuraida, you are here, right? Maybe you can shoot it out. Zuraida? She's there, but did you understand?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can try to answer those kind of questions, right? So
Okay.
I have companies like in Penang that does testing for just identifying if this product is failed or passed. And one of the things they've done in digitalization is we call it automation or RPL, where you use AI recognition to look at machines to see whether this is wrong, this is right. And it was a hard thing. This was before the pandemic because they were moving into that. When I was going to get involved in the project, I found out that because it was hard to have foreign workers, this is manual, mundane work, right? Reject, pass, reject, pass. And if I done that job, there would be about 2,500 of them would have lost their jobs because we couldn't get foreign workers to do that anymore. The company had to look at automation, and that's how they started applying it. So lab testing and all that, you have to reinvent your business, because I have a good friend who runs a data center where she has contracts for many, many years with banks. But the limited space that you have that you can go into office, she only can function 30% of the capacity that's given to her. And when we talk about this, right, we talk about, do you keep doing that? Because that's the limitation. The bank cannot open up another building so they can give you the 100% of capacity. And I'm talking to her, you have to relook at your business now. I mean, this is a 30-year-old business that you're telling a business owner, do you think this is going to be sustainable for you? Although you got signed contracts in your hand, but the capacity of the COVID is you're never going to have a full number of people going back full office, right? So these are the questions you have to ask yourself: where you automate without people, how you optimize it. There are technologies out there can do this testing without human beings. You got to pivot this business, which requires investment. Banks do give investment for such. In fact, her business is easy to get soft loans like the AFP stimulus fund. With Navin, we found out there's only 20% of that loan is given out, because it's more challenge to give businesses that want to do cloud. Banks go like, if I cannot see it and I cannot touch it, I cannot give you digitalization fund. And I'm going like, we are talking about cloud, but if it's a physical business that's going to go digital, it's easier to get funds to automate that. So she should look at exploring. She's in a better position to explore that.
All right.
And pivot the business.
Yeah, thanks very much. I hope that answered your question, Zuraida. All right, from the floor, if you all have any questions for Khushbu, you can ask. Khushbu likes personal, you talk to her, she likes to see your face and answer you. Yeah.
Absolutely. You read my mind. You read my mind.
Yes, any questions for Khushbu?
I think there is something from Dr. Bhavani for Sarla.
Okay.
Yes.
This is for Sharla. You mentioned how a spa owner is now working on digitalization, where she or he has discovered the spa for men is a market that unveiled and she's building it. Could you share more on how it happened going on? How do people like me on the launching pad could reach you, or the digitalization guides to take us to go about?
Right, you can get Dr. Nawa to give me my number. I can put you through the Nawem team that did that. For what I know, that when she got into this program that we have with Asia Foundation, we teach them like what Khushbu does, the personal marketing and all that. They go through this marketing and analytics. How do you do data storytelling? How you get the data? How do you look at data for insights? That's when she discovered that, with the network in the marketing, there was this room for, she used data to find out there were room for men's spa. There was a need for demand for that. People were not capturing that. So, that's how she got about it. And I think it was brave that with the pandemic, she already built the spa for the man, waiting for the economy to open up. So if anything, I can tell people, please get vaccinated so that they can actually open up the economy. That's my only wish.
And you need your vaccination certificate to go anywhere.
Exactly. So get that damn thing done so that, businesses can thrive, right? And please, Nawa, please give them my phone. I'm really okay getting my phone number out, and I can get them involved in Nawem if they can get into the project when they're on the second round.
Sure, I'll do that. Any other questions for Khushbu? She got her tips to share. Come on.
Come on, guys. It's important to hear that.
Yeah. Any questions? Stephanie, you have a question?
Yes, Dr. Nawa. Actually, I have a question to Khushbu and Saraja. Then I have a very unique digitalization platform, and I formed this company before the COVID. Okay, then during the COVID, actually we cannot run the show. Okay, means that we cannot do the business in KL. Okay, you know that digitalization, actually the headquarters and the demands is actually in the center of KL and southern part of Johor, Singapore. Okay, so I like the way that Khushbu empowerment and motivation, full of energy, that are telling us how we can move in this pandemic time. Thank you very much. Okay, but the thing is, the uniquity of our digitization software is very hard to put in video, and how to put in a slide that to tell people that this is my digitization products. Okay, so many times that I need to do a demonstration, the real demo to customer, means so-called potential customer, but at the end the gate is closed because of the MCO keep repeating. Okay, so I think this everyone also happening in real life in Malaysia. Okay, so I'm thinking how's our speaker here. Okay, so I just sent a message to Khushbu in the LinkedIn. Okay, I like your $1 class. Okay, the course that you're going every day are conducting, I know, but I have my own business actually. That one was a traditional business, buy, sell, trading, and manufacturing. So I noted that digitalization in what sense, in what product is going to be the trend of another 30, 40 years. So I quickly partners with another unique products with the overseas. So we need to taking care of the Southeast Asia. But unfortunately, the COVID take down everything. So I need the way of how the unique digitization, we have our own database, we have our own blockchain, but how to present to the market, to sell on and able to talk, not just like a video playing. Okay, so it is hard for me. And right now, okay, of course, I also paid some money, not small amount. Okay, I get someone in Penang, okay, to do the videos, like what we say branding. Okay, but it's still on the way. Okay, I do not know whether the video is. The designer came to me and say, "Hey, can you see to edit to add on anything?" But actually, is out from the box house the video. Like we are in the digitization, we know our product well. When we see on the video, we see, wow, the things that are able to let the public know, or what are you doing? But we want to present something like a fingertips. When people see your product, people, oh no, this is your product. But I do not know whether the brand name, repackaging, and advertisement, all those things, whether can help the products glow automatically. So this is, I think this is one of the pain, okay, those are now moving into the digitalization platform and hit up by the COVID. So it's covered a wide topic and many questions here, okay. I hope that Kusmo or Dr. Nawa, I think you know me, okay. Okay.
Good question, Stephanie. Would you like to take that question, Kushbu?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so I think it's more about how to have a GTM, which is go-to-market strategy for the product that you have. Of course, with the last 5 minutes, everything you shared, I almost had, I would say, 1% understanding of your product. So it won't be fair for me to give you solutions for something that I do not understand as in terms of the product. I am, if not wrong, maybe on your website, if it reads right, ASHISUTO-tech.com. I landed up to this website after looking at your LinkedIn message because you said, I'm like, okay, let's go and see what you do, because it's important for me to, before even saying anything, to be able to know what you're doing. Very little I understood of your product, but I can say you come from a space where you're probably empowering B2B, which is you're empowering other business, or you're empowering individuals.
B2B.
Correct, exactly. So this is what exactly my understanding is. You're empowering other business. Now, one of the core things is that you have invested money in the branding, which is creation of video and all of this. Of course, haven't seen it, can't comment on it, but it's great. It's amazing. But as organization, the way you come and speak and the way you come and tell about the product is the real difference, let me tell you. Especially in the B2B space, more than, so just for everybody, 80% of the entire social media leads or digital leads that gets generated in the B2B world, it comes through LinkedIn. 80%. And the fact is, how it happens is, of course, there's advertising involved. That's a part of it. But large part of it, when person like yourself who explains the product more passionately than the product themselves. Now, even if I go to the website, trust me, you will justify it better than the website any single day. So I personally feel that I can tell you a tip here. Like someone just told me, Kush, can I get some tips? So I can tell you one thing that you can do is narrow down 5 companies that you think you want to work with. 5 companies. Done. In that 5 companies, think of 3 designations in that company that can value add to you. Example, let's just say, for example, you're thinking about, you think of Google. Very, very absurd as an example, but Google. In Google, the one designation is the operations head, the other person is the process head, and then the HR, maybe the 3. Narrow down these 3. So that means in total, you have, hey Google, pause. You have 15 total people that will come out of it, because 5 companies, 3, 15. Take those 15 people. Now imagine you are in an event with those 15 people. Imagine exactly you're in a networking event and you know those 15 people beforehand already. So it's not a surprise for you. how would you build rapport and relationship in that networking event is exactly the same thing you need to do, but through LinkedIn as a platform. Don't try to sell yourself. Remember, guys, networking event, one of the biggest thing that we always say don't do is try and sell yourself immediately, because nobody is ready to buy. The fact is nobody, and your deal size is not small. I'm understanding the deal size are bigger here. In B2B, as it is, the sales cycle is long and the deal size is big. So when these are the two things involved, the only thing that can do the magic is you. So 1:15 as a ratio, if you consistently keep doing it in a frequency, which could be, I'll not choose for you, but I can tell you at least in a month 15, if you're doing it in a month 15 with relationship building side, you will see that you'll get into healthy conversations, you will understand the market, and even if the conversion doesn't happen, let's just say, you will know the language people understand for your product. Because one of the most important thing here in the world of digital transformation is not using the word digital transformation, because that blows people off and they're like, oh my God, what is that? I don't know. You know, those jargons, most of the people, they don't understand. They're using it, but they don't understand. So experience of chatting with those people will itself give you a lingo to next time have a better foot front and go forward with it. And that is a sales cycle which I can think for you at this point of time with the least understanding I have about your product. So does that make sense?
Yes, yes. Sounds positive with the direction that where to go. Then I would like to understand more with you, because we just have about 5 minutes
Yes.
talking in the air. Okay, so
Hi, can I have a question, please?
thank you so much.
Yes, yes, Kiran. Kiran. is
Hi,
it?
everybody. Good evening to everyone here from
Good
Kuching.
evening. Yes.
Hi, I have a question for Khushbu. Hi, Khushbu.
Hi,
So,
Kiran.
Hi. Okay, I had started a coffee chat show. It's called Coffee Chats with Kiran on, and it started in
Awesome.
it's been going on. Started in October last year. Part of COVID byproduct, just like what you talked about LinkedIn and LinkedIn. And I went in from let's say November until my last show, which was season 1. I ended it in April. And I was very clear from the beginning that what kind of series I wanted to run, because I'm into leadership, into communication. And so I wanted to invite people who were into leadership positions, and it didn't matter from which area. I was pretty open because I'm from academics myself. But having been an entrepreneur and going into different areas, I was open to this whole concept of leadership is about people in leadership positions, but also about yourself as a leader and how you stand out in the crowd. So I had started this series, but it was very India based. And I ended up my entire season 1 was based with business leaders in India. And then people in Malaysia then I started posting some of these videos onto LinkedIn, which was starting in January. So once that happened, people started noticing that, yes, I was posting some of these videos. And some people started asking me that, can we be invited to your show? And at that given point of time, I did not take those. Because I had already had a plan for the next 3 months, who were the people that I was going to invite. So I already told them, yes, at this time, my series is, full, and I would like to start inviting you for season 2. So then I ended my season 1 in April, and now I'm replanning to restart season 2, which is going to be Coffee Chats with Kiran and more on the leadership series. So my question is, one was, which would be the right platform for having coffee chat shows, which are more, I might even change it to something else. I'm not sure, but it was basically Coffee Chats with Kiran. That was the show. and having it on leadership. Would LinkedIn be the right platform, or recording it onto YouTube and then transporting, putting those videos onto LinkedIn be another way of doing it? How do you think? That's one question. Number two would be my network in Malaysia. For example, if I wanted to reach out to business leaders in Malaysia, like how you've been doing it, or even into women empowerment. I mean, in fact, one of your clients, when you had shared her video during your first, I think you said she was one of your, we reached out and she said, let's talk about it. I can't remember her name right now. I'm sorry if she's here. Sorry, guys. So she said, yes, let's do something on entrepreneur. So now how should I move around with inviting people in the Malaysian community onto this platform as coffee chats? What would you think would be the right approach of doing it? So one would be what social media to use, and the second one would be having the network expand. One is Malaysia as well as globally, because India, I have already, I mean, I wouldn't say I've exhausted it. Yeah.
I think these are two beautiful questions. First of all, I want to appreciate you. Anybody who want to get into this space, these are the top two questions. What platform or where to get started, and what's the right method, and how to get the people for the show. So first of all, I want to applaud you for going and doing it, because the more we think, the more complicated we make it. It doesn't matter which platform, it's important to come out of your comfort zone and really face the cameras. That itself takes a few episodes. Forget about the speaker. You yourself discover your own journey, because you're facing a camera and you're, and yeah, because you go, I'll tell you a deep dark secret, guys, for the people who are still here. I have recorded more than 250 videos over the last 2.5 years. I still have difficulties going back and listening myself. I don't like to listen myself. I will run out of, so even if my parents are like, okay, let me go and watch your TEDx talk, and I will literally put earbuds, I'll go in the room. I can't. There's a strong sense of uneasiness that comes in, either the shyness comes out. I do not know what it is. So I want to tell you that if even one, and I've seen, even if one of the person feels like I'm not comfortable watching myself, I'm not comfortable looking at myself or listening myself, it's all natural, guys. Have produced 250, still, I'm telling you, wouldn't have watched on repeat 99% of them ever again, because I can't. I have genuine difficulties with that. So it's all right. So first of all, applaud Kiran, amazing, done season 1. Season 2, if you want to start back again with leaderships, there are several ways to go around with it, and I'll just put across some of the top ones for everybody here. For leadership, of course, right now I'm working with a lot of leadership coaches and trainers. So I'm not sure if that's your space or not. I personally recommend them to go with either a community based, which is, so if you start on Facebook, the only problem that happens is that it just gets too restricted among the people that you have, and it doesn't give you a lot of exposure of growth. After a point, the bandwidth finishes and there's nothing new that happens on the entire platform, unless you're associating yourself every single time with a new community group on Facebook. That's magical if that can happen. But on LinkedIn, what happens is the growth is 30,000 then as compared to 5,000, which is on Facebook connection numbers. Yes. So, which means you can explore to have a community size that big and get into a different market altogether. I wouldn't recommend you unless you have LinkedIn Live. So LinkedIn Live is a feature which is only with few of the profiles on LinkedIn. Personally blessed to be one of the first to have in Malaysia. I know a lot of my friends who need it, but they find it quite challenging. Still, there's a method to the madness. So there's a way, but long haul. One thing that you want to do in the leadership space, think to tape into the podcast market. People are not there still, okay? You will get magically amazing amount of audience getting your eyeballs. Use Spotify, Apple, and Google Play and all of those platforms and try to launch the audio version of it. Because I'm not talking about today, I'm talking about next year. By the time your podcast have got subscribers, next year you will already be celebrated. But consistency is key. Every Tuesday means every Tuesday. Every Thursday means every Thursday. So you have to go out. Choose to have smaller episodes, which is something I've learned with my own journey. Longer ones, attention span drops and it doesn't help too much. On LinkedIn, don't share the YouTube video at all. You will kill your own content yourself. It doesn't like third-party softwares. Why will LinkedIn celebrate something of Google, a product? No, it has its own product. Take the video, create a intro of that. 30 seconds, 40 seconds, can't create, don't have time. Take a clip, take that clip and put it. See, intro is where you mix up a few seconds here and there and then put it together. And clip is just you take a portion of a minute and put it. So you take a clip and put it out there. Now, guys, video content on LinkedIn is not super celebrated. Let me tell you, since 1 year actually. Earlier than that, it was actually. Earlier than that, the algorithm supported it. But over the last 1 year, they have reduced the exposure of it. So if you want, Kiran, you can go all out and take screenshots of your content if it's a video content and then go ahead with that storytelling on LinkedIn. YouTube, as you mentioned, I personally don't recommend YouTube if you are looking for success fast.
Okay.
It's a good platform for making your library. So all Linkpreneur stories are there on YouTube. Every episode that I've done is there on YouTube. It's a beautiful library and I use it as a library tool. So anybody who wants to see it and at a comfort of their mobile phone and not download any app, YouTube is default there. I give them the link. So it's just a database sort of a thing, because the winning mechanism on YouTube is not that easy. The competition is very high. LinkedIn, you will have an early mover advantage, and that too you will have it now. If you do it even after 6 months, you won't have it, because LinkedIn is getting flooded as we speak right now. But YouTube is already flooded. Leadership, it's like the most highly talked topics among the exactly. So no point fighting amongst the people who are already there and have done it and dusted it. Look for that niche. In terms of your name, it's nice. If you want to build a personal brand, it's super awesome because you have Kiran in it. In terms of when you go on the podcast side of it, it can backfire for you a little bit when you're going international, because Kiran is an Indian name. So think about it. Yeah. Think about.
You survived, I survived. We'll all survive. Been in Malaysia 17 years and still going strong. I think we can make it happen.
Exactly. So it's on you. I will tell you, it's just on you. If you're bold enough and you're like, yes, I am, and I don't care. I love that. And that's how it is. Be that badass and go all out and break it happen. It's fine. If anybody tells you, come on, if you have a response for it, make it happen. Just go all out. But yes, podcast is the way to win on a bigger side. LinkedIn, bite size. If not video, images are best. I would suggest to repurpose it across Instagram and Facebook as well. When you're doing all the hard work, why not push it out? Even if one person and one right person is more than enough. So that's how it is. Your second part of the question was, Kiran?
How to reach the leadership people across the world. Yeah.
So
we've exhausted.
One simple answer: by not inviting them. Sounds stupid, but that's true.
Okay.
They won't. Yeah, that's fact. They won't reach you. Also, I want to tell you, they won't. Azran did not reach me. I worked my way to get him on the show. But imagine, okay, if someone is sitting on that chair alongside Kiran, Khush, there are many other people who are trying to get them on the show.
Absolutely.
How can they remember you and invest their hour to you? It's how you make them feel about themselves.
Absolutely.
So avoid inviting them, build that rapport. And I would even tell you, build that rapport for a month, for a 2. And then go out and then send them an invitation.
I remember someone sending me an invite saying they would like me on their show. And I just did not like the way it was approached. And I said, I'm sorry, my calendar is super
Packed.
full.
It's
said,
true.
It's true. And I said, I'm sorry. I mean, he said, oh my God, really? Even for 10 minutes? I said, well, I've looked at my schedule and I can't fit you in. And I wasn't being mean. It was just the way that it came across. It wasn't the person that I wanted to be on that show with. So as a result, you just don't want to do those things. So I understand where you're coming from on that context. Absolutely.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So like I'll take a fine example. Dr. Nawar reached me out for the show. Honestly, at this point of time in the business, we are having heavy transitions, and literally I slept at 6 o'clock in the morning today. So that's the kind of bandwidth which is going in the business. The reason is that probably even if I was not ready with the slide and there was a slight bit of confusion that it was panel, I blame it to myself also, because I had really no time to take in. But when Dr. Nawar, we had connected previously already, the energy that she brings in, the way she speaks, and the way she makes me feel about myself, or how she carries in, there is no way I could tell no. I mean, I was like, okay, if dates are fine, if the times are fine, yes, I'm okay, I'm all up. Let's do it.
You taught me how to connect with people, yeah? Yeah.
No, I am with you. So if anybody wants to win big on the podcast side of it, on the live webinars and live shows side of it, these are two things which really helps. So yes.
All right. Good. Your question is answered, Kiran?
Absolutely. I think
okay. Do
so
we have
LinkedIn
any
is one way. I just, so basically no offshoot videos from YouTube. I did share on our group the 2-minute YouTube video, but I think short bite size are not too bad. They pull through, but longer videos, no.
They don't. Yes, correct. They don't.
All right.
Right.
We are reaching almost 7. Our program was supposed to be only until 6:30.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm sure some of you would want to know more about the tips that Kush was talking about, and Dr. Maria shared growwithsaltandpepper.com, the link over there. Yeah, so you all can get connected with her directly in LinkedIn, and feel free to ask her. You just make sure when you connect to her, your invitation for connection must be nice, so that she will accept. If it is not too nice, she will not.
No, that I am not so mean, but yeah, the fact is, guys, it's about 350 which I have right now, and there's a bandwidth. It's 30,000. I'm at 27 right now. I just want to make sure that we can value add to each other. So associating a message like Kiffany, right? Kiffany, am I right with your pronunciation?
Yes.
Kiffany she did associated a message, and she immediately stood out. I was there on her profile. I went through her company website and everything. So it just helps you stand out. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. And in fact, ladies and gentlemen, I personally learned a lot from Khushbu early this month when I attended the LinkedIn Kill It on LinkedIn. That's the program she calls. And it's amazing. And in fact, some of my course mates are also attending this. And yes, it was a wonderful evening today. And Charla herself also shared a lot of points. And well, I remember now how our parents used to say, what? Engineer for a girl? You know, those days schools must be teacher, you know, nurse or doctor.
Yes.
You know, not engineer, or not a job for the girls. Yeah. So I can feel you. All right. So those were the time how we were brought up, and I'm sure the time has changed. Parents these days, like me, we don't say such things. Whatever they want to be, you know, they can.
Yes.
Although I did in the beginning, but now no. I have my youngest daughter who is a digital film director now. So imagine, you know, when they say digital film, movies, you know, then you say, what movies? How can you be, you know, that sort of
right. Right.
So, thank you very much, Ms. Charla, Ms. Khushbu, and thank you all for waiting until 6:59 now with us. And if at all you want to watch again, you can go to Kuala Lumpur Selangor Indian Chamber of Commerce Facebook, and you can watch back on live. And before I end this session, I would just like to tell you all that there are a few more sessions coming up. On the 20th July, we have intellectual property and 100% Matrix market development grant subsidy for SMEs. On the 22nd July, we have hidden marketing platforms in digital world, which will be free as well as paid. And the speaker will be Udaya from THR Raga. And then we have KWSP, ICITRA, Dan Anda. Cybersecurity for business and combating the rising threats during this pandemic on the 27th July. Wow, July is really packed up. Huh? And we have Skim Pinjaman Microcredit Hijrah Khas untuk Community India, which is on the 30th July. Most of our programs are at 3 to 4:30 p.m. Do keep in touch to know more. And thank you all once again very much for coming in and attending our program. Can we take, switch on your camera, we can take a group photograph together with the wonderful speakers.
And Dr. Nawar, can I say something with all your permission?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. As everybody is switching on their cameras, one quick shout out is, among all the beautiful women, I was a bit surprised to see my partner right up on the screen as well, though I was not expecting him to be there. So I just want to say that this journey, whatever I shared with you, would have been impossible without him being across ever since I was 16 till date. So it's been a long ride. Yeah, it's been a long ride. And thank you for being here. It was a pleasure surprise. It was a happy surprise for me. But yes,
yeah.
That's all. That's all. Thank you so much, Dr. Nawar, for having us. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Let's click the picture.
Yes, let's click the picture.
I can see Keith's daughter is like dancing with joy. Oh my God.
All right. 1, 2, go. Thank you. Thank you very
looking
much.
So beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
To let you go.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you so